What is up, everybody? This is the Wrestling Fan 410, back again with another video. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about possible directions for Brock Lesnar since uh, his SummerSlam match is over, uh, and it's been announced now that uh, him and Paul Heyman are going to be the opening segment for tonight's Raw. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about who I think he's going to jump into his next feud with and when that should be and that type of stuff. Okay, so anyways, uh, the fact that last night's match with Triple H is over, obviously the feud is not over though. Just the way it ended and stuff, the way that Brock Lesnar broke Triple H's arm again, and then like just the way they played that off and how they announced that Shawn Michaels was going to be a part of the match and then he got his arm broken, it just doesn't make much sense to end it there. So I believe that the starting segment is going to be like them coming out. Paul Heyman's going to be the one talking on the mic first saying, I told you that I told you Brock Lesnar was an ass kicker. I told you this was going to be a fight. I told you it wasn't going to be a wrestling match, which it was more of a wrestling match than a fight. But, and then Brock Lesnar's going to get on the mic and say, like, something like, I broke your arm again and stuff like that. And then I think they're going to jump into the next feud, which I believe will be around Survivor Series. And that is if Brock Lesnar is scheduled for Survivor Series, because I know he's not scheduled for that much. So I'm sure he's going to have a match at the Rumble, and I know he's going to have a match at Mania, but I don't. If he is going to be at SummerSlam, I believe he would be with like Sheamus, against Sheamus, not for the world title. I think that well, I guess they could put the world title on Lesnar if they wanted to. It wouldn't make much sense because then he'd have to wrestle at TLC. But maybe Sheamus can lose the title to someone at like Hell in a Cell, because I think it's Night of Champions and Hell in a Cell then Survivor Series. So I don't know if they could like work it out as Sheamus loses the belt to maybe Orton, or he could lose the belt to Wade Barrett, or even Del Rio. I would say he could lose the belt to Wade Barrett, and then Randy Orton and Wade Barrett go into another um, feud, uh, another storyline, and then uh, maybe I know I always like playing Ziggler into this situation, but like if Sheamus isn't going to get the title again, because if he's working on an angle with Lesnar, he's not really going to have time to think about the world title. So other people he could be facing, Randy Orton is definitely a possibility. Um, there's not really too many other people I can really think of that they would put Orton, that they would put Lesnar in the ring with. I don't think they would put him against Punk, especially if Punk is trying to become heel. Uh, I don't think they would put him in the ring with Kane, because I don't think that would draw as much money as putting him against Sheamus or putting him against Orton, or what they had putting him against Triple H and Cena. Really, they hit the two biggest ones, the two biggest dream matches. The other ones we have are the two other big ones we have are Taker and Rock, and those are both what we're thinking of for Mania. So I don't think, I don't see Taker wrestling again until Mania, and I don't see Rock wrestling again until the Rumble. So it doesn't really make much sense. But I definitely don't think this. Oh yeah, and people might say something stupid like, "Oh yeah, it could be Shawn Michaels versus Lesnar." Shawn Michaels is not gonna wrestle again, and if he does, I doubt it will be against Lesnar. I think if Shawn Michaels really wants to have that one last match, I could see it being against someone like Triple H, having facing Triple H on Triple H's last match, best friend versus best friend, or I hope not, but they could always do Taker versus Shawn again. But again, that's very unlikely. So, uh, but anyways, yeah, I don't see Shawn facing Brock, but I could see I not at Survivor Series because I think that'd be too soon. But I could, excuse me, but I could see around the Rumble. It could be Triple H versus Lesnar again, and special guest referee maybe Shawn Michaels, and that could go two ways. Again, Triple H could get his revenge and he could win, or what a lot of people thought for a twist was gonna happen at SummerSlam, which again could be is very unlikely, but it could happen, and that Shawn Michaels being special guest referee and then turning on Triple H. But again, I don't really see that happening. But if he is gonna be going into a angle around Survivor Series time, I could see him facing Sheamus. I think Sheamus or Orton are the two most likely. But anyways, if you guys think you have any ideas of who he could face, who his next opponent will be, let me know. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Oh yeah, and give me your reasons of how they're gonna like get him off TV for the next 3 months or so, because he's not gonna be on TV that much. Maybe around November, but they have to write him off at some point, and the fact that he won last night, that's gonna be kind of hard to write him off. Where if he did lose last night, he could say that he's injured and he has to take a break. The only way I could think of is him getting on the mic and saying, "I beat Triple H and now I quit." And then around January time, Triple H says he wants his rematch, and he's kind of like kick Brock's ass or something like that. But anyways, leave me a video response if you want. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.